KMSU.
Hi, is this Dustin?
It is.
Hi, Dustin. It's John Reilly.
John, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. It's great to have you on the phone today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to talk to you.
I am here with my co-host, Ton.
Hey there, how you doing?
Sorry, what was his name again?
It's Ton, like 2,000 pounds.
Ton. Okay. Hi, Ton.
Hey, I'm glad to have you here. This is very exciting for us. If you're ready, we'll go ahead and get started.
Yeah, awesome.
Awesome. Well, I guess we'll start with kind of the typical question. If you can talk to us a bit about how you got into acting, how you got started.
Well, I started out acting when I was a kid. I was about 8 years old. Just started doing plays in the neighborhood, doing musicals, and I just kept doing. Never thought I would be an actor for a living. It just seemed like something like I would do for fun, and I kept thinking like I got to get a job one of these days. And then at some point it occurred to me like, wait, what if this became my job? And that was a beautiful day when I actually first got paid to be an actor.
Well, yeah, you were in some pretty big films early on. You know, Days of Thunder and Boogie Nights and those sorts of films. When did you actually have that thought where maybe this wasn't just a hobby and you were going to make it into a career?
Well, that was sort of like I was still in college at the time in Chicago. Went to the Goodman School of Drama in Chicago at DePaul. And a friend of mine, this guy, Kevin J. O'Connor, who was from my same neighborhood, got cast in a movie called Peggy Sue Got Married, a Francis Coppola movie. And that was the first moment where the light went off like, wait a minute, a guy from my neighborhood just got cast in a movie. Like, I could do that maybe. And, you never want to assume that it's going to be your life's work because it's a fickle business. So I think even now, after 60-something movies, I still feel like, well, it could dry up, which is why I started doing this music. It's something that you don't have to depend on other people for other than the audience, I put this band together and started singing songs, doing old traditional music. Started out here in Los Angeles, and we've taken it now all over the world. Been to Australia and England and Ireland, Scotland, and it seemed time to come home to the Midwest. And we're super excited. Yeah, Minneapolis is a place that's really close to my heart. I have a lot of friends there. There was a band I was really into when I was in college called Trip Shakespeare. I don't know how old you guys are, if you were from that era, but some of the guys from that band went on to start a band called Semisonic.
Okay.
Dan Wilson and Matt Wilson and John Munson, pals of mine from Minneapolis. And then, of course, I made the Prairie Home Companion movie up there in St. Paul, and that was another, like, beautiful kind of combination of a movie experience and a musical experience, getting to play guitar and singing live on camera for the audience there at the Fitzgerald. So life's good, I've gotten to do a lot of different things, and I've been really lucky that audiences are open to me, everything from different characters in movies to all of a sudden showing up in their town to play old bluegrass and country and folk music for them.
Would you say then that the Prairie Home Companion, was that what awoken the kind of musical side of you, or did you have that all along as well?
No, I've been playing guitar since I was a teenager, and like I said, been doing musicals and singing in choruses, and so music was always a big part of my life. It was just that Prairie Home Companion moment was like I'd been such a huge fan of that show for such a long time, to suddenly be there and be asked to be part of that show and put myself out there as a musical entity, as a musical performer. Really, I don't know. It just made me realize how much I really loved it, and I sort of right around that time just sort of started thinking like I gotta commit more time to this, and I have to follow this because I don't know. Life is short, You got to do everything you can do while you're here.
Sure.
And I think if you got a painting in you, or a short story, or a song, I think everyone, regardless of the profession that they've chosen or the way the world sees you, you should try to do it.
Definitely.
Yeah, speaking of that, you're kind of talking about, you're kind of multifaceted. I mean, you've played really dramatic kind of roles, even in some of those war films, Casualties of War, Thin Red Line, that sort of thing, and then all the way to the extreme, like the Dewey Cox and the Will Ferrell movies and stuff, Talladega Nights. Do you gravitate towards one or the other, or is it really just whatever you feel like?
I gravitate towards being employed whenever possible. And that's, I'm joking, it is true, but I also just try to mix it up, you know, like I'm not one of those actors who finds their zone and just does that over and over again. I wish I wasn't sometimes because it'd be an easier day at work, but yeah, I'm always looking for something that's different than the last thing I've done, and it's served me really well, and it's helped, I think, keep people interested in what I was doing because I'm always doing something different, which is why I'm so excited to come to Minneapolis and play the Women's Club Theater.
There it is. We are excited for that as well. One thing we wanted to ask you, when you were working on the film Walk Hard and recording most of that music for the soundtrack and stuff, did you guys make it through Minnesota on that tour?
No, we played Chicago and Cleveland. I don't think we went up north, no. But yeah, that's where I met one of the guys who's in the band now, Dan Byrne. He wrote a lot of the kind of Dylan-esque, the 60s period of Dewey Cox in that movie.
Yeah.
Dan's an amazing songwriter and singer. He plays with us, and he'll be with us when we come to town. So
do you guys dust off any of those old Walk Hard songs for your show? Or
no, I mean, we did an 8-city in-character tour as Dewey Cox, me and some of the guys from that movie. But no, this is a roots music review where we do old bluegrass music and old country standards and old folk music and sing a lot of harmony, and there's a sort of rotating cast of duets, and we keep it. You know, everyone who's in the band. You know, Willie Watson is in the band he's an original member of the Old Crow Medicine Show. You know, Becky Stark and Tom Brousseau. Everyone has their own songs and their own solo careers, but what we do when we come together is we keep these old songs alive. You know, it's one thing to listen to these songs like on your computer or whatever if you're into roots music, but it's another one to share them in the same room. And that said, I do talk to the audience a lot. We have a good time and a lot of laughs, but we don't really do any music except for this old traditional stuff, like these eternal kind of immortal songs.
And I know you released a few singles on Jack White's label. Do you plan on releasing any more albums or anything?
Yeah, we're hoping to record this summer if possible. We want to do a full album of stuff because we get asked constantly at the shows about it. People are so excited to hear these songs come to life. So yeah, that's definitely, we're planning on doing that. Whether we do it with Jack or not, I'm not sure. I think it depends on his schedule. But he said whether he produces them or not, he'd be interested in helping us put them out on his label.
Awesome. One thing we got to ask you, we are huge fans of Dr. Steve Brule. Can you tell us a little bit about how that character came about on Tim and Eric, and we'll check it out, be back for another season?
You know, I have tried to get in touch with Dr. Brule, and he's very hard to get a hold of. Apparently he has a pager, which goes to a fax machine, and then Denny has to read the faxes to him. I'll pass along your compliments on the show. I hope there's another season of checking out. I really do.
Do you know, is that character based on anyone that you had experience with in the past, or how did that come about?
You'd have to ask Dr. Steve Brule that question, I'm afraid.
Okay. Awesome.
Well, I guess, is there any other upcoming projects you have? I know Wreck-It Ralph was a huge movie. Are you doing more voiceover work or animation stuff?
Well, they've been talking about doing another, a sequel to Wreck-It Ralph, which I really hope happens. That'll be years in the making, of course. Those things take at least 3 years to make. So I think Disney does have plans on doing it. I hope they do, because I really, really enjoyed that. I like having the option of coming to work in my pajamas if I wanted.
Sure. Just like in radio.
Exactly. You guys in your pajamas right now?
We're in PJs right now.
I ditched my pajamas before we started, but...
I'm imagining you in footy pajamas, men's full footy pajamas.
That's what I wear regularly. Dusty, he's a little more risque.
Oh.
He's got to keep a handle on it sometimes. I don't know.
There's a couple things brewing movie-wise, but nothing official yet. Just right now, the thing I'm most excited about is this music tour we're about to do. We're starting out in Minneapolis, and then we're making a big circle around Lake Michigan. We're going from Minneapolis to Milwaukee to Detroit to Indianapolis to Maquoketa, Iowa, and then finishing up in Chicago.
Yeah, that's awesome. We're very excited about it as well.
Yeah, it seems like, movies, TV, animation stuff, music, whatever you decide to do, it turns out awesome. So we're looking forward to it.
Well, fingers crossed. I hope I see you guys out at the show.
Yeah, I hope so too. Do you have anything you want to leave us with or any parting words?
Well, I just hope people show up to the Women's Club Theater, because if they don't, it won't be a show. It'll be a rehearsal. And we've had enough rehearsals at this point. No, it's going to be a really special night. It's not just me bragging. I'm just telling you what people come up to us after the shows and tell us. People end up having really special experiences at our shows, and I think it's because there's a lot of love involved. So I hope everyone makes it out.
Beautiful. Well, again, we're huge fans, and it's been great having you.
Thanks a lot, guys. I hope to see you at the show, and thanks for the interest.
All right, anytime.
All right, take care, man.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.